Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you to the Land of Dawn for our first game of the semi-finals. It's going to be Cambodia taking on Philippines. Who will strike first?
Well, I don't know. With this kind of lineup, man, I honestly think Cambodia has a good pressure to be able to strike first. You can see how much pressure, though, Boxy's doing to say Son here, just on this side of the jungle. So, but yeah, with a Farsa and a YSS, I think you're really capable of getting that first blood if you can. If they decide to just cool it off, though, and like keep things together into the first objective, then they'll have to just dodge arrows. As long as they dodge those arrows and they win the retry, Cambodia would be fine in the early game.
Yeah, again, this is going to be very, very, I guess, just critical in the early game here. Both teams now just taking it slow. Boxy, though, quite poked, and that's not good. That's going to be arrow landing. I'll be forced to use that flicker, and Revitalize popped as well. So 2 spells already triggered here by Philippines.
Man, he wings by wings, and he went back to the Revitalize, but that's what I was saying. I was like, the main thing is they really have to watch out for the arrows, because that's that's always the move. Whoa, mid lane.
Mountain Chalker doesn't really help you. That's gonna be Detective going down. That was the recovery, the backup from the Philippines. So fast, so swift, but yet so deadly.
Okay. As I was going into it, I was saying, that's the main thing. You got to just dodge those arrows. The arrows being the hardest part about this lineup if you're Cambodia. But as I say it, he lands another.
Arcangel, so deadly on the Selena. It seems like already early invade from the side of Philippines. No purple buff for Detective. Not a good early game here for YSS.
Man, oh man. I mean, at this point for Cambodia, it's really just... I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say it, man. Watch out for the arrows. Good response. Okay, that time they were ready. They were ready, Gani.
They were, and seems like they want more. Is this too ambitious? Saison pops the rhythm of beats. Oh, OP. No wings by wings. Great punish again from the Philippines.
It was a good response to make it there in time. And then, good catch, but still, at least Cambodia's on the board. They were dealing with that too much. It's too bad the kill didn't go over to OP, but that's going to be, nothing too big here. So, Zing, he dashed in, Secret Vision. He should get under the turret.
Not enough damages yet, though, but it's still the pressure, right? They are damage testing, and it's like, it's enough, but not enough to be deadly towards Zing just yet. Let's see, though. It's a full reset here, ladies and gentlemen. It's a healthy lead for the side of the Philippines, and yeah, all mainly because of Arcangel on how he is able to just land those arrows again towards the right targets, towards the right time, and in the right timing.
This is pretty much a dead lane. I don't think we're going to see too much from the XP with an Esmeralda and Phoveus there. So rest of it is on pressure on the jungle and even down to the mid lane. That's why all the focus has been here, because not only is it because of the arrows, but that's just where you expect this action. Now, if they delay OP, that will have some effect, but ultimately a Farsa is always useful. Like, that's what I always say about Farsa. As long as you have a Farsa, like, your damage profile is always going to be pretty good with a Feathered Airstrike. If they can contest this turret, it'll be great. Oh!
Boxy, very low AOG will connect. That's going to be, Detective popping here. In trouble. Will not be able to get away. That's going to be Boxy again going down. Oppie very low as Canon finds the flicker play. And that's just the members. Just more members falling. Arcangel will not survive as Zing finds the connection. But Canon again against the Phoveus under the turret. He does not care, as it is against just the Philippines finding the right trades.
They found the right trades through this too. I mean, again, for Cambodia, they're just trying to go ahead and scramble what they can and catch up to where they can. You can see the damage as well. Like, they are... That's not where you want to be with this kind of lineup. You know, your main damage dealers, even Detective, for example, really hasn't been able to do much. She does go for a play here. Okay, as soon as I say it, at least Detective will get one with the Mountain Shocker, but they're going to trade it out for the objective.
Seems like Wadu now caught stun. 3v2, not a good count there from side of Cambodia, but it seems like with reinforcements now, that's a great taunt. That's the AOG. That's going to be the Esmeralda going down in the mid lane. Feather airstrike. Isn't able to connect to members, but yeah. By the way, Detective got a very important kill top lane towards Requitiano. So let's see, will that be able, will they translate to the mid game to an okay mid game, because that early game was a shocker. Now it seems like they want to fight onto, they want to fight more here. Unigo pops to revitalize. Mountain Shocker pops. That's the arrow landing, but Unigo will fall. Cambodia showing that they have more here in the mid game.
Hey man, they just completely switched on, you know, in the last minute and a half or two. Even with that arrow, you know, Wadu's going to be tanky enough to deal with that. And that's what I was saying earlier. The Feather Airstrike or the Farsa is always going to be of value. It took them some time to go ahead and get to this point, though, but especially for Zing, as he's been able to go ahead and farm up, this is going to be a different mid game that you see here. Now, they did lose, you know, the 2 turtles. That's going to be nothing too crazy out of hands. What Cambodia wants to do now is start to use this power spike in the mid game to start pushing down some of the turrets. Like, if they can go ahead and grab the tier 1s in the mid and top, that's going to be great for them in leading into that 3rd turtle, you know, the last one of the game here. But this has been the focus of the whole game, mid lane.
That's going to be the crowd control chain in the mid lane. Wings by wings, spent from Opie. Mountain Shocker, they want Canon. AOG doesn't land. Canon too fast there. Instead of even waste a spell. Now it's going to be Cannon again, just providing vision, just wasting resources. But Zeng jumps in, looking for an angle, force Arcangel to force his flicker. That's going to be Zeng in the front line, trying to deal damage. Canon flicker is out of danger. That's going to be revitalized, buying enough time. But that's Cambodia just taking the objective in that turtle. So it will not be a perfect one for the Philippines.
Yeah, great play again from Cambodia. They fought, they kept it together, they got a kill, they got an objective, they got a turret. Now they might still continue to do this. You're noticing that they're rotating around together. They're securing a line. You know, they're cutting off the side of their jungle. Now they're going to make a play here for the mid. What are this Philippines going to do?
Oh, the damage, the burst damage, man, is more than enough to burst Esmeralda down. That's going to be Detective again, finding a kill onto Unigo. Philippines on the back foot here in the mid game officially. They lost their tier 1 in the mid, and that's not good. More vision, more map control to play around with from Cambodia.
This power spike is just too good for Cambodia right now for the lineup that they have. You know, early game, it was about buckling in and making sure that they didn't have to get hit by too many arrows, which is what the problem was in the early game. But after that was fixed, you're now seeing Cambodia's lineup work as a unit, and that's what I was mentioning earlier. They're staying together because this is really difficult to fight for Philippines, just because at this point, you know, the arrows aren't going to do what they were doing in the early game. They're going to set things up. You can see even for Arcangel, he only has the Enchanted Talisman, right? So what they're banking on is that damage to come through from Requitiano later on. This might be a fight they're going to take.
Under the turret, let's see, that's going to be all Esmeralda, Detective, wow! Saison goes down alongside Detective, both junglers now out of the picture. Canon will not be able to escape. Now Wadu trying to hold on there, very low, revitalized by Unigo, trying to also buy time, but it seems like Requitiano and Arcangel will not be able to support. Great angling again, Cambodia. They know they are very strong on the team fights, and it seems like they're not hesitating.
Yeah, it's tough because even when you see that, it's like, it's Philippines knowing we don't have enough damage. Requitiano was part on that side. He was on that side of the jungle, but with as tanky as, you know, Boxy and Wadu are, he knows that I can't sit here and auto attack and, you know, do the Mozkov things until I really have those items that I need. I'm not sure if he's exactly at the Trinity yet here, but they're going to be a little bit too late for this Lord, so I think it just goes in the hands of Cambodia.
So he almost finds the perfect timing there. And shout out to Uppy. He's able to rotate towards the bottom side to have that far lane control. Lord, Cambodia, and Philippines, they are forced to play reactively now.
Yeah, they are, and this is what I'm saying. You have to go ahead and give time to Rakutiano and this Moskov to build up. Not sure if we've seen the items just yet, but you can see Cambodia is locked in for the most part. The items that they need, the Holy Defense, that Holy Shield is going to pop. Feathered Airstrike will push Philippines back. But another big item pickup for Zing and Opie. Holy Crystal, now Divine Glaive, so this is that late game power spike now for Cambodia. That's why in the draft I was saying they're covered from start to finish for this. I'm not sure if they still get to push it into the base turret.
Gotta be careful. Zeng now finds an angle towards the front. Mountain Shocker doesn't really land. Saison, very bold. They're looking for an opening there. Doesn't really find the right connection, but seems like Cambodia is still holding on. 5 members still on the offense, and base turret wise, they have defended from side of Philippines, so will they force the mid now? That's gonna be the arrow landing. Oh, Feather Airstrike. Oh my goodness, on! Burst it down. AOG, not enough time. That's Detective, very low, and he's gonna die to, the arrow, no, the trap did not do enough damage there towards Detective, and he is still standing. 3 members deleted though from the side of Philippines.
Man, Cambodia again, like I was saying, their damage is so good, especially when they're just either if they were defending or if they were being the aggressor. It's so good because of this. The Feathered Airstrike allows you to go ahead and push people away, push people off, or give you that minor advantage in terms of space to work with when it comes to the bases, right? Getting to the base turrets here. So again, Philippines has to go ahead and adjust from this because this damage dealt meter looks very different now than it did just about 5, 6, 7 minutes ago, you know? And that's the thing. This is what I was saying also in the draft, Gani. I was saying that Salinas are great, especially in the early game like we saw. But the problem is, once it falls off in the late game, that's where you struggle, Canon!
Oh, burst it down
You're not going to be able to get away!
Exactly, man. Just burst it down. They know they have a lot of AoE, and seems like the Feather Airstrike at this point, level 13. Yeah, the cooldown isn't too long. So, yeah, I got to keep in mind, Philippines, whatever you show, Cambodia for now can punish.
Yeah, that's tough. You got to find yourself a way to withstand this amount of damage being thrown at you.
Very well. It here. Done. So top and mid eliminated. Cambodia, they're shifting their focus towards Lord here. It seems like Philippines, where they will contest. It seems like they want to find an opening here with the arrows. Will it be enough though? They are under farm. They are under the gold. Cambodia taking it slow. 24,000 HP on the Lord. Unigo doesn't really find the angle there. No shield unity. AOG though committed. Doesn't really find the right opening. Wadu very low. The damage though will come through as Unigo now and back falls. Requitiano falling the second member there. Not a good sign for the Philippines.
Oh, Arcangel is running too. He's trying to clear that mid lane to delay the potential push here, but Cambodia is like, we'll just get the Lord. And it's been every team fight, Connie. Every single team fight, Cambodia has basically won. Yes, they might lose 1 or 2, but, you know, no one's got to Zing. No one's been able to get to Opie. A lot of the times, too, is it's just the power of having a Phoveus and a Gatakacha. And then, of course, the YSS. Like, YSS provides you that information, but he's also kind of, like, that's what I was saying when we went to the team rosters, or leading into that. I was like, you know, Detective is just really good at being able to handle his own in the jungle. As you see here, with why I was saying the YSS is probably going to be a big contender for both the teams, and you can see why it works so well with this kind of lineup. Now, Philippines, when you look at it, it's like, can they actually defend against this push? Their clear isn't that great. Requitiano is the majority of the clear, and maybe the Joy, but they have to use things to defend here, like this.
Will crash flash. Oh, cannot eliminated. Now they can focus on the base, but Unigo falls as well. That's going to be Cambodia just sticking with 5. Base wide open, and ladies and